Welcome back to another Game Creator tutorial. Today we're going to create a new avatar to be associated with our player. We're going to give it our own custom graphic. So with that said, let's get started. All right, so I want this player to better match the tile graphics that I introduced. And so I'm going to go to Database and Avatar. Here we have a list of all the avatars. Notice that there are about 16 groups of avatars. So this one I'm selected on currently is character. You can also go down here and you can add brand new ones by changing the maximum. You can also really quickly delete them by changing this to a low number and then clicking OK. It will delete everything up until about right here if I left it at 2. But what we're going to do for ease of use is we're just going to select the player one and we're going to use it. The first thing let's pay attention to is the actions. These are going to be all the animations that the player has. So currently it has 4. It has a standby, which is just standing. It has a walking. It has an attack 1. And then it has a death. And so we can introduce these animations just as we need them. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to clear this and we're going to create our own. So I'm going to name this one player, and then we're going to introduce the standby animation. So I'm going to click on this, and this is going to give our base root folder. I'm going to go to avatar, and then in characters, this is where they have a folder of all of their characters. Now these actually don't have to be in any kind of a folder. These are just for organizational purposes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my PNG, which is this ninja here. I'm going to cut it, go to GameCreator, go to my project, assets, images, avatars, and characters, since I'm already in that folder, and click paste. And I'm just going to add it there. It's going to load. And then we're going to go down here, and there it is. I'm going to select it, click open. So now we need to cut up the image here, and this is the horizontal and vertical cut. This is where we partition it correctly. Now the only thing to know is that the horizontal is they're actually backwards right now during early access. So the horizontal is actually looking for the vertical cut slice, and then the vertical is actually looking for the horizontal number. Now hopefully that's changed if you're watching this in the future, but yeah, for now they're backwards. And we can see that it cut it up appropriately. So this is a 4-directional sprite sheet, and I want to import all directions. And we just got to make sure that we are facing the correct direction that it's showing on this rule right here. Hopefully they said that they're going to be able to drag these or adjust these so that we can change this according to the sprite sheet instead of change your sprite sheet according to its rule. But we'll see how that plays out. I'm going to hit OK. Now the only thing to fix up here is that we do not want the walking animation to be the standby. So we need to get rid of the walking frame. So I'm just going to click the frame and delete them. Now, since we selected that it was a directional one, it's going to give it for all directions. So I need to delete those frames for all directions. And now we will have a proper standby animation. Just, idle, doing nothing. All right, so now let's add another one. I'm just going to click this plus here, and we're going to just select one of these preset ones called walking and activity. So this will be the one that is done during walking. And then you can also, again, add your own, just clicking right there. But we're just going to use this preset here. We're going to hit OK. And now we're going to select it, and we're going to do the same thing. We're going to add frames. We're going to add the backward partition. Select all direction. And now the only thing that we have to add here is we have to add another idle in between the last frame and the first frame. So that way it's left, middle, right, middle, instead of left, middle, right, left. And so we're going to simply do that by hitting copy paste, Control C and V. And then if you right click, you can see some shortcuts here. Move right is the right arrow key, and move left is the left arrow key. So I'm actually going to just press right, and it's going to move it. I'm going to repeat this in all of these right here. And that should be a wrap for that. You can hit the walk there, and there it goes. Now the only thing else to do is if you wanted it to be slower, you can adjust the FPS reference. 10 is felt about good, so I'm going to leave that as is. We can now hit OK and playtest, and we will now have a walkable character. So I'd probably want to slow down the walk a little bit, but that is about all it takes to do. And if you hold the shift key just by default, you can run. And just note that you can actually add, if we go back there, a running animation. So I hope this video was helpful. Like, subscribe if you want to see more content related to Game Creator. If you have any questions, comments below, Steam forums will get you figured out. With that said, I will see you at the next video.